Today, we're finishing the Oldsmobile. So we finally got all the pieces to fix the Oldsmobile. Had to take that center link back. We got the right one. So let me show you what else I had to get. So we got the new center link here, and it's a match. Got some new brakes for it. Oh, this is windshield repair. That's for something else. But I had to get new boots. I got a pair of them. Using the pickle fork to get them out, they got torn. So I thought it'd be prudent just to put two new boots on. They're cheap, and it's good cheap insurance. So I was going to put it on tonight and put the new idler arm on, which I also got right here. But it's getting dark and my garage is a mess, so I think I'm going to clean the garage tonight. I've just got stuff everywhere. So we'll get that cleaned up, and then tomorrow morning, hopefully if it doesn't rain, we'll get this thing put together. It shouldn't take more than about 30 minutes, so see you tomorrow. Well, it's the next day. It's a little cleaner. Let's get to it. It rained last night and all week, so the humidity's at about 1,000%. I just remembered I have to change into my work clothes. Done. So as we get started, we have an 11/16 nut down here, and on the inside here we have a 5/8. So let's get the air compressor fired up and we'll zip this out. You have to be careful not to drop them in the hole, so I get my pliers. I can't find my magnet, and we'll grab it and get it out, maybe. Come on, you. So, yeah, I got to put this down. So we're sitting here comparing the new one to the old one. It's all lining up, so we'll put this one in, and we'll put the greaser in, and then we'll put the rest of it together. So now that we've got that done, it literally took 5 minutes to zip off, zip on. It's self-explanatory. We got these new grease boots. The old ones were fine. They're a little compressed from being on, but they got torn when I took off the. They got torn. So put the new ones on. They slip right on. I'll tell you what. For the price, it's almost worth just changing them out anyways, even if you didn't tear them. True, I'm one of those people that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, for the price, you can't beat it. So I just went ahead and I changed both of them out. I think this one was still good on the driver's side, but I tore the passenger side one with a pickle fork. So let's get our center link out. We'll get that on now. I got a toad hiding out under the truck or the car. Hello, Mr. Toad. He's just chilling, so we'll just leave him alone. This is really quite easy to put on. I hope. Yeah. Slide that on there. And I forgot. It's a pain to take off. Just got to go over the. You have to put it over the steering rod first. Alright, so it's in, kind of. So now we need to Get that all zipped in, and then put the tie rod ends on, and this thing will be ready to go. The one thing you have to remember on these cars when you're putting all this stuff together is, despite the fact this car uses standard, all of the replacement pieces, especially the ones from overseas, all use metric. So that's just something to remember. So you're going to have two different sets of units of measurement on these, so just remember that. So we got the cotter pins in now. Put the grease zerks in, and let me see if I can angle this. Yeah, oh, there we are. They just pretty much just screw right in, and make sure you tighten them up. They're about, I think they're 1/4 inch threads, so we'll get them screwed in and put some grease in it. Alright, so now that we got those done up and the grease zerks are all in, we're going to put these tie rod ends in. Right here. Sorry about the noise, it's attached to a hubcap. So these just pretty much just go right in like they came out. Or might have to manipulate the tire a little bit. Sometimes it takes a minute, but you just got to move it back and forth till you get it in. Come back here, you. The secret to getting tie rod ends in is basically patience. It's just, you might have to manipulate the wheel a little bit back and forth, and just, you know, just work it in. And the end does move, so if it gets a little off, you'll have to jimmy the wheel, and just patience, man. It'll go in. Now, truthfully, this next step is the most important. As I clean all the grease off me, it'll never be completely off me. Yeah, the next step is the most important, because if you don't do this, you just wasted your time. And that's those grease zerks. We got to put grease in it. It's really easy. There's 5 spots. We'll re-grease the tie rod ends and then the new pieces too, because they were shipped dry. Okay, so we got a professional grease gun. Let's try that again. We got a professional grease gun. How do I know? It says it is. So let's see how hard this is to... Doesn't come with grease, but thankfully it came with instructions, but it's pretty straightforward. Make sure you get one, and you buy one that's made to fit. Just a regular standard tube. Be a lot less pain that way. But more or less, you just pop the end off. It'll unscrew. You slide the grease in. And you break everything in the process. So let me get this put together and we'll get to greasing. We got it to work. So let's do it. So we're under here. We're going to get this one, and there's 3 of them over on this side. So we'll get those. So you can see those. Yep. And we'll be done under here, and then we'll do the brakes, and that should take all of 8 minutes. The new grease gun's a little tight. It's not wanting to let go, so just spray a little bit in there. And being these parts were dry, you're gonna have to put a little more than you're comfortable in, but it'll be all right. So now that we got that done, let's get these tools cleaned up, get it all cleaned up so we can start on the brakes. I like to clean up in between jobs. Center link and all that, we're done. Probably get it aligned in the morning. But the brakes take different tools, so we'll get this all cleaned up and we'll start on the brakes. Okay, so now that we got that cleaned up, we got the brakes, let's get the wheel off and I'll show you what we're doing. As you see, the brakes are pretty well worn. A little bit of surface rust, but they do take a special socket. It needs a 3/8 hex bolt for the back here, but boom, they just pop out. The thing comes out, compress it like normal, and slide the new ones in, and it goes real quick. Sometimes you need a little hammer just to give it a little bit of persuasion, but don't go ham. Put your C-clamp on it and squish it in. Truthfully, they make all sorts of cool tools for this, but why sit there and complicate your life? Use a C-clamp. They're cheap, they're easy, and it's doing the same thing your special tool is doing. So just, you ain't gonna reuse this brake pad, so just use that. It's easy. So we had to take the clip off the old brake one right there, and it just goes into here. But here's the new one. It'll slide right in, and there's an inner and outer, so I need both hands for this, but it just pops in and it just goes right back in like the way it came out. And there you are. So we got the brakes put on here. The old ones were just as bad. You know, they were pretty worn. So let's put the tire back on and take this thing for a test drive. So we got it fired up. Let's get this thing on a test drive and see how she rides, and we'll just go from there. Right off the bat, I can tell the toe's out a little bit, but that's to be expected. So let's get this thing up to speed and see what happens. Apologize for the shake. So at 55, 60, she starts going a little bit like this. She gets a little loose, and that's to be expected. But we'll get this thing home, we'll recheck all the lug nuts, but it needs to go back to the alignment shop. But aside from that, the car's done. Pieces went together fairly quickly once I got the right pieces, and it all just kind of worked out. So hope you like this one. I'm not going to show you going to the alignment shop. We already did that. So we'll get it all aligned probably tomorrow or maybe next time I'm home. Depends on how much time I have. I do have a real job. So we'll get that taken care of. But I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.